Hello and welcome back. Today I'd like to start a new series exploring the mind of a pagan Celt, and today I'd like to discuss animism. On a previous video, Pantheon Castle and the Fairy's Revenge, we saw an example of a story similar to that which may have been told in the past. The ancient Celts passed on their knowledge through stories. So, was that video based on one of the original pre-Roman stories that may have been told around a campfire many years ago? Unfortunately not. I'm afraid those stories have been lost through the ages. But we can use this story as an example of how tales of the past were used to pass down knowledge. And then we can delve into the concept of animism. Many stories contain some learning or wisdoms. They were told as entertainment, demonstrating such things as the bravery of the forefathers, learnings of cultural significance or religious belief systems. Mostly they were interesting and entertaining stories, but the learning and wisdom was often contained within. Druids specifically didn't write things down. They believed that their knowledge and power was compromised if it became known outside of their circle. However, they were storytellers, and it's believed they travelled through towns and villages passing on wisdom, knowledge, code of conduct and ethics to the common man through their tales of mythology and stories of the ancestors. Of course, it wasn't their sacred druidic knowledge they shared amongst the common folk, just the necessary teachings, those fit for a good Celt. Prevalent within their teachings is the belief in animism. So what is animism? Animism is a belief that all objects, animals and places all possess a distinct spiritual essence. This belief was not unique amongst the Celts. It's quite similar, in fact, to the traditional beliefs shared amongst a number of other indigenous peoples, such as the American Indians and the Australian Aborigines. Today, this is thought of as a primitive belief, but if we look at this from a modern day perspective, and we consider that every object in nature, inanimate or other, such as mountain, lakes, woods, they all have character. I don't think anybody could deny this. An eerie forest, a misty lake, they have a character, a certain essence. And this essence has an influence on one's being, on one's perception. We all know that feeling, what it's like to be alone and walking in that creepy, spooky forest, or shivering alone by that often misty lake. To the Celts, this essence was seen as being that of spirits. They believed not only people possess a spirit, but so do animals, plants, and geographic features such as mountains, rivers, as well as other natural entities of the environment, giving us water spirits, vegetation, deities, and tree spirits. So coming back to the previous video that I wanted to use as an example, Pantheon Castle and the Fairy's Revenge. It told the tale of a wicked baron and how he had mistakenly attacked a band of the fairy folk and the revenge that they took against him. We may wonder then, who are the fairy folk in this story? So the fairy folk were mystical spirits of the woods, often up to mischief. They weren't the woods themselves, but a part of the nature of the woods. They may be friendly or they may be hostile. Some considered them guardians and protectors of the forest. If you angered the fairies, then you could expect some nasty repercussions. In ancient times, this was superstition, and the revenge of the fairy folk would be something to worry about indeed. In modern times, it's a bit like karma. Trash the woods, and this will probably bother your conscience that something bad may befall you. A punishment to fit the crime, perhaps? So something to take away. Never upset fairies. Be it in ancient or modern times, the realms of the subconscious is where the fairies lie today, and a vicious scar on your psyche is just or even more devastating than one on your physical being.